Welcome to the Momentum Builder Podcast, hosted by Don Goettling, bringing you the top professionals, real stories, and proven success secrets that create unstoppable momentum. This is the show for housing professionals who want clarity, not clicks, where action, discipline, and consistency turn into real results. Top professionals, real momentum, real success. Let's get it started.
Welcome to the Momentum Builder Podcast. That's right. We have a great show for you today because we get to interview the top leaders, the top professionals, the top companies, the top tech, all the things you need to be more successful personally and professionally. That's what Momentum Builder is all about. How about that? And I'm very fortunate today. We don't get just one, but we get three rock stars on the show today to talk about something that is unique and you want to pay attention to, because this is something that is imperative to any business development today. So today I'm very excited to bring an incredible company that Momentum Builders partner with, we work with, we know their quality, we know their service, we know their platform. So this isn't just the sales pitch. This is actually information and something that's going to enlighten you what you should be doing to grow your business. Today I have the team. We're talking the co-founder, CEO, and all the brain trust of Blended Sense today, which is the Uber of, I like that you guys have the Uber of videography, which is kind of cool. So we're going to talk about how you should be utilizing and building collateral. And we're with the experts today. They will be filming at Momentum Builder Live October 6th through the 8th because they rock. And here's a key thing. We'll talk about their technology and how it's a huge advantage, as well as why they're called the Uber of videography. Welcome aboard, Abigail, aka Abby, Albert, Baez, and Mr. Ransome Tucker himself. Woohoo! Welcome aboard, you three.
Let's go, Don.
Thank you so much, Don. We're so excited and happy we all get to be in the same space today. Typically, we are either coastal and everybody's in some other different places. And so, yeah, it's special that we all get to sit down with you today, too.
Well, it's nice to have your smiling face other than these other two mugs. You know, it's really nice.
Well, you lucked out, Don. You actually got this as a part of Abigail and Albert's vacation plans. As an annual trip up to the Northeast. They usually every year spend a week on the coast in Rhode Island, and so they made it a point to add the Momentum Builder podcast to their vacay plans this year.
Nice. Now that's dedication. I appreciate you guys.
We had to, this is very much our Albert and I's lifestyle, in addition to, our means of making a living. But we were just reflecting on the fact that each summer we've come back simultaneously. We're building Blended Sense. We kind of experience a new season. We got to say goodbye to the kids, come take a breather, get to film this. There's been other seasons when we're in here trying to scramble on a hot spot and run operations.
Right.
So it's kind of really special that the timing of all this right now. So yeah, we love it.
I'm stoked to have all three of you because I know that's a treat. Usually I might get one or two of you. And it's kind of cool too, Abby and Albert, that I get to learn more about you as well. I've talked to Ransome quite a bit because he's the good-to at the events. We talked, I don't know, all week long. I kind of flutter around, and Ransome and I run into each other all the time because Ransome's, dude, what a hard worker. Are you kidding me? That guy's like everywhere. Every time I turn around, I'm like, he's got his little camera and he's chasing down people. He's running up the stage. He's guiding other. He's behind the stage. He's getting the audience. It was really, really fun to watch it in action. And I learned a lot from it. It was really cool. I'm excited that you guys are partnering with us. So let's start with what was the problem you saw in our industry? I'm going to talk any industry, really, because sales is sales. Because I know you work with real estate, you work with mortgage, you work with any professionals that need videography, a professional videographer, because we've all had the others, your cousin there with the camera, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, why was he filming his baby the whole time? or why can I not get my collateral 2 months later? And when you get it, what do I do with it? So you guys, in my eyes, have really helped out with a challenge in any industry. So what made you guys decide to start Blended Sense? I'll start with you, Albert. I get to talk to Ransom quite a bit.
Man, that's our CEO and president, by the way, on the ground. And that feeling you get when you're around Ransom and seeing him do the thing, that's what we strive for every single user and customer that books us across the world to feel, right? And we lead from the front. And that's what you see with Ransom. So I'm glad you've got to experience that, Don. For us, overnight, every business under the sun had to become a media company. Right. And that's not Blended Sense's fault. That's not your cousin, the videographer's fault, right? That's not a production company or agency's fault. That's the consumer. Across every industry, the consumer has evolved to a point where they want to communicate with brands and businesses via the digital format, right? And that's where video lives. And so, Abigail is a commercial film and TV actor. And so when we moved to Austin, Texas, a little bit over 12 years ago, she got an agent down in Austin. Austin became a hotbed for commercial film and TV. A lot of things were being produced in Austin, Texas. And as she's building her business, trying to make a living doing what she loves, she realizes a few different things. Number one, the world of production is very antiquated, low tech, awful communication. The net pay was net 60 to net 90. So in between the big gigs, she was scrambling, looking for local gigs using things like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Backstage. And the question was always, is this a professional gig? Whose backyard am I walking into, right? Am I going to get paid on time? And so she experienced that and had an aha moment where it's like, how is it that in a world where every company, every business under the sun needed to become a media company, me as an actor, as a creative professional, I can't find consistent local work that's reliable, et cetera, right? And at the same time, Ransom and I's history, if you will, dates back now almost 15 years. We were part of a company called Yodel, which was a digital marketing company. And between the two of us, we've been part of 6 different types of companies like that, marketing, ad tech companies. And what we saw, we got to experience the evolution all the way from dating back to folks trying to figure out how to get a website online. Then they were trying to figure out how to get that website on the front pages, right? Then you've got social media, email marketing, and the full evolution of where digital is today. And the last company I was at before we started Blended Sense was called Main Street Hub, which sold to GoDaddy. Main Street Hub had just released a one-time photo shoot as part of the product offering. And on every single demo, people were going nuts, stopping us on the demo. How many photos do I get? Do you guys keep coming back? Do I own the photos? The answers were all no. No, we don't come back. You don't own the photos. And so I went to the CEO at the time. At this point, I'm 10 years into the industry. I've heard dozens of thousands of demos, and I never heard enthusiasm like that. So I said, hey, Matt, I think you got something here. And I think this part can become a product of its own. And it's selling like, hotcakes right now. And his answer to me was, well, we're about to sell to GoDaddy. So why don't you try it? So why don't you come to it? And that was in 2018.
Kind of a blessing in disguise, huh?
Oh, big time. And I did the right thing, going to him and seeing if he wanted to do something with it. But long story short, that was in 2018, which is when, I quit my job at Main Street Hub. Abby was like, let's go do it. And we incorporated 2019. Fast forward to today, that we know of, we're the largest media tech platform with over 1,100 vetted invite-only videographers across the globe, nationwide in US, nationwide in Canada, the Caribbean. And we've got some more cooking. So can't wait to dive deeper. But yeah, man, every company under the sun, media company, overnight, businesses struggling. How do I get the videos created? How do I store the videos? How do I deploy the videos? What kind of videos do I need? And so here we are.
Well, what's cool is, and thank you for that, Albert. And I love hearing the story. And hopefully you're out there, you're listening and understanding that a lot of these companies evolve, and you evolved through learning through other companies, and just like I have, and we're learning every day through Momentum Builder, and especially through great professionals like you. And I'll give you some kudos because I know you guys were like, startup of the year. I mean, come on. That means you guys are walking the walk and proving that your platform is needed and it's something that is desired, and that you guys are following up with what your platform is supposed to do. That's the challenge I see, because Ransome knows we're very particular who we partner with at Momentum Builder, and we vet. Like you guys vet your videographers, which I really appreciate. We do the same thing. Companies just don't become impact partners with us unless they can walk the walk and do a good job. I've seen a lot of your great work. And here's one of the things that I'd love you guys to touch on, and I'll go to you, Ransome, this time, talking about how AI is really leveled up what your offer is, because that intrigued me, because I've had challenges. I've been running events for 8 years. I've done, radio for 10 years, TV for certain years, podcasting, all that type of stuff. The hard thing is sometimes is getting good collateral and getting it in a timely manner. Because I know at one of our last event, and why we have you guys hired now, our last event, it took us 2 months to get our collateral. And by that time, the buzz was over. Now, we're using that collateral, but it wasn't broken up into pieces. So then we had to pay somebody to break it up in pieces. So kind of explain, two things, and I'll go, I got a great question for you too, Abigail. So coach you already, but explain the process and why it's really a huge advantage. And then we'll talk about the cost savings, because because of your tech, you keep the prices reasonable, because we all know that hiring a good videography team can eliminate you from hiring them, because you're just like, I can't afford it. You can't afford not to have a good team, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm preaching to the choir, I know. So Ransome, go through your process. What makes Blended Sense unique? Because I've worked with a lot of industry people, and you guys have a completely different platform.
Yeah, great. Well, appreciate you teeing that up, Don. It's been pretty fun. Well, I mean, the first thing you mentioned was, AI's tools, AI's power. AI is an ongoing thing every day. We're finding new ways to, obviously, like most companies out there in the world today, how can we leverage it? How can we use it to add value? For us, right, the rise of AI has been a relatively new implementation, new technology. Like everyone's learning. How can we use this? But we've spent 7 years, better part of a decade, really understanding businesses to Albert's point about the modern business becoming a media company, whether they like it or not, right? And so we really looked at it from the early days, and you mentioned us being the startup of the year, out of Austin, Texas, and specifically out of Capital Factory, which, if anyone that doesn't know about Capital Factory, they're the number one accelerator. They call themselves the center of gravity in Texas. But the fun fact about that, just to kind of segue into our process and why it's us as a tech company, most of Capital Factory's portfolio and ecosystem is like government related, deep tech, some stuff we can't even talk about on here. Someone would show up in the middle of the night and put a bag over our head if we revealed anything. It's like those types of companies. And among all companies like that, they singled out Blended Sense. I was like, no, that's the one that, right. So it's pretty kind of a fun little, story in our history. But from a process standpoint, from the early days, we really looked at it as, hey, we're going to make a bet on the modern business, whether it's a local business, right? Don, the flower shop owner in Milwaukee, who's just a solopreneur that loves to sell flowers, all the way up to Don, the enterprise CEO of an international real estate company or whatever, right? All of those types of businesses in between are going to need to be media companies. So what can we do to not only produce the assets that they need, video, some photo too, but video is definitely our main one, and not only produce those assets, how do we evolve this industry from where it was, which from Abby's experience, she could easily see this is not going to work for businesses. What I mean by that is the before Blended Sense, the industry solutions were agencies, production companies, and that's about it, right? And so they were really built to serve Hollywood, right? To go do a short film, a feature film, a documentary, or to serve big corporations, right? Nike's trying to film a Nike ad for the Super Bowl, or Coca-Cola has a Christmas campaign, right? And so they're going to go spend a few $1 million and work with an agency and produce. Like, that's what the industry was built for. It wasn't built for the flower shop owner or the marketing team within a real estate or a operations team within a franchise brokerage model, right? There was no solution for them, right? And so we're like, all right, what can we build? And so our process was always, all right, we got to make filming easy. And the way we do that is we need to have a vetted invite only network. Because this also, let's still to this day, 2026, this industry is not, it's not standardized. There's no regulations in it. You could talk to 10 or 15 or 20 different videographers, even in the same city, and they're all going to tell you something different. They might have different cameras. They're going to give you different prices. They're going to have different rules on if you get the raw footage, when you get the raw footage, if you ever get the raw footage. They might be the editor. They might not be the editor. They might be GCing the editing to someone overseas that they don't even know, and they're just sort of winging it on their end, and you'll never know any of that. And most people don't even have the ability to talk to them. So, or know what questions to ask, or know the difference in cameras, or any of that. So that was the first problem we solved. Is, hey, we need to solve this. We need to have a network that a business owner can go to, and all they need to know is, hey, I need video. Whether that's for their website, whether that's for recruiting, onboarding, ads they want to run, building their social media channel, building their executive brand, right? Whatever the reason is, and we can help them with that too. We need to have a way where they don't have to worry about any of the details I just mentioned. They need to trust that Blended Sense has done this for them. They've got an expert in my area that can go get the footage. Then we knew that all that footage was valuable down to the per clip level, right? If we go film Don, the PI attorney, right, and your team for website content, well, you might get a one edited video, but every clip that we film of you is valuable. And something that blew our mind from the jump was that the industry did not give the raw footage to the people that were paying for it. It wasn't a thing. It was like you would get scoffed at or laughed out of the room if you asked for the raw footage. And Albert and I, coming from the business world and of just how business owners operate, especially when it comes to money they're spending or anything they're producing with the intent of branding or sales or demand gen, lead gen, recruiting, any type of that, its maximum value needs to be extracted. So we knew we needed a system to then productize and ingest and organize the raw footage as well, so that it could be an asset for the lifetime of the business. And then obviously we knew we needed editing, and we knew we needed a platform to kind of run everything through, because we thought, hey, all these businesses are going to need to become media companies. How are they going to operate? How are they going to be able to book what they need for filming, order what they need for editing, store the assets, go back and repurpose and reuse, add additional team members, right, depending on how big their org is, right, so that all their team can have a video operating system, produce what they need when they need it. And so that's what we built. And so we have, to Albert's point, the largest network of invite-only vetted videographers, photographers, hybrids around the world that we know of. There's a whole process to develop that we learned over the years of what that looks like, a little bit of secret sauce. A platform that we built called Studio, which is now in its Gen 2 version. And I think Abby's got maybe something to share with you that's maybe coming up here in the very near future that's exciting on that. An editing team that we've curated that are all DP filmmakers, our kind of Navy SEAL level editors for really high quality assets when we're called upon. And then AI tools just to land this plane and bring it home, to allow businesses to not only have access to all their raw footage, but have it in an organized, labeled, tagged manner, meaning what was the footage filmed, when was it filmed, why was it filmed, what's happening in the clip, who are the people in the clip, what was said in the clip. Let me pull out that transcription, basically productizing the raw footage so that teams can use it over and over again for the lifetime of the business. And so hopefully that gives you some perspective. It gives the listener some perspective. And so we still feel like we're in the early days of this thing, but we've scaled and built technology in the video world further than any other company we've seen doing this, and so it's been fun.
Great explanation, Ransome, and thank you, because the hard thing, like when we have these conversations, you guys, so many companies want to pitch, but really I want to find out what you're solving for. And you hit the nail on the head of so many things I know in my challenges. For example, when you're talking about, even if you got the raw footage, One, how is it delivered? Because it is massive. So you have no way of even getting in. And if you do, what do you do with all that collateral? And then you got to go through it all and try to figure it out. You guys solved that solution. So I'm going to go to the lovely Abby and ask two things. One, I want to find out what's new and upcoming because I know you're excited to share that. But explain why you guys call yourselves the Uber of videography. I like that. That's slogan, and I think it'll hit home with our listeners when you're out there listening. Why would I align with Blended Sense? I think you guys have a great way to do that, and it's economical as well.
Make sure she shares what's on her shirt too, Don.
Is it showing backwards though?
No. The world is your studio.
For me, it's like reversed. It's so weird.
You just got to get used to the mirror look.
Well, we call ourselves the Uber of videography for a couple of reasons. One, we believe that anytime, anywhere, if you need a camera, Blended Sense will be there. We've had examples where we have done it, we've gotten a video request and we've matched a creative and had cameras up within hours, like maybe 2 hours. We got a request and got to match someone there. So like 1 hour. Okay, so we really mean it when we say.
Let me clarify.
And part of that philosophy too is like, yeah, sure, we work with a lot of businesses that have specific content days and they love to set up and go tell stories and shoot scripts and things like that. But also the philosophy is use what you have going on in your business and be able to leverage what's currently existing on your on your calendar, and then be able to book a camera anytime, any place to be there.
Actually, go a little deep on that because that's key, and Ransome touched on it. But one of the coolest things is, let's just say I like this because I'm going to present this as an enterprise solution for our companies.
Mm-hmm.
Companies are nationwide. They want to promote their company, but they can't. If you just did it only in Philly, then everybody else feels left out. So what I loved when we talked, Tucker, and you guys created a great system is, hey, we have offices in Los Angeles, we have offices in Austin, we have offices in Seattle. To hire somebody to go and fly and handle all that stuff and do it is a nightmare. So it just doesn't happen, and it isn't synergistic because they're different.
And it's expensive.
It's super expensive. Where now they can say, "Hey, I'd like to highlight 6 of our offices," and you guys can set it up like that, and they get the collateral immediately to where they can actually utilize it again and again and again, or cut up different clips and so forth, or use different clips. So I love that. It could be, and because you guys use AI technology, it is substantially less expensive than going the other route. When you hire a videographer that's like, oh, I got to spend 18 hours, editing, I got to do this. They add up those hours, and pretty soon you're like, whew, I didn't know I'm starting a new Disney film.
Exactly. Never mentioned the time that it took for you to go find that freelancer, the negotiation time you've invested, all the communications, the tracking down, and something that Ransome had mentioned, part of the Uber Lyft model, right, is standardization. So when you are becoming a driver, you get your background check, you have to have a license, your car has to be at a specific year and above. And I know this because as an actor, I did driving as one of my survival jobs.
Yeah, you got to be a bartender, Uber, or a waitress. One
you
of the
name
two,
it. I've done all three. I've done every single one of those things. So I know. And part of that standardization, right? Like when you're a passenger and you get in the car, you're like, oh, okay, it's not just a random person picking you up. There's a platform, there's a system, you feel safe. And that's when we say like we're the Uber of, part of what we're meaning is like we are creating a standardization in the freelancing world that has never existed before. And therefore, not only do you feel safe, you feel like you can trust the people around you. But because of those things, those parameters in place, when you show up to do the camera stuff, you feel better. And when you feel better, you perform better, you look better, you sound better. So taking that off of the business owner to have to worry about some of those more micro social experiences in being really vulnerable in this medium, working with a stranger for the first time, because we've standardized it like that, we get not only we get consistency in every market, but we get really great results. So part of the network, the vetting, the invite only, all of these things that we do assure that whether you are in your office in Dallas or your office in Philly, the camera quality is going to look the exact same. The experience that you had capturing it is going to be the same because you're working with a Blended Sense Pro. And I like to think of it as like a check mark. So you're in the Blended Sense network. Wow. Then you're in the upper echelon of your industry. And part of that, is safety, trust, reliability, and consistency.
Consistency is huge, of course. And I appreciate you explaining the idiosyncrasies of how you guys do it differently than others. I've experienced, which is really cool. I've seen you at multiple events now, Ransome. You're handling all the big wigs now for a reason. And I saw you at the Gathering. I saw you at Mastermind. You'll be at Momentum. You're everywhere, which is cool. So I have a fun question for you, Albert. What name, and maybe Ransome can help with that because I know he's the field guy. What is one of the craziest things you guys have had to film? Been asked to film. Now, try to keep it PG, but this is just a podcast, so you can say what you need to say. You
All right,
have it, Abby? Look at
it
Abby.
looks
Like,
like she
I
does.
know.
I have too many.
This is key. Pre-incorporation or post-incorporation?
Let's go pre, because after corp, you're like, then we had to change.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we've done some rated R stuff.
Okay. Was it like you're like filming in Chatsworth?
Well, let's see. Man, the crazy. That's a. Whew.
I know it's a loaded question. I just thought you might have because this is all about storytelling.
Yeah,
it really is. That's what you guys help companies do, because selling now has to be storytelling. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, Ransome, and I'm because the difference of you just pitching, like I'm going to have, and I'll have, you guys can talk to a lot of our sponsors, but I'm actually having them do a 60-second commercial, but it's not to pitch. It's actually to just let our attendees know what problem you're solving for and why they need to talk to you. That's all that matters. When somebody says, I have a CRM, and they just jump into a demo, you're like, there's 30 CRMs out there. Tell me why yours. And if they would have told me for the 5 minutes about what they solve for, here's the challenges you have, and here's how we solve for it, then I'll listen. And you guys do a great job of helping us tell our story, because that
100%.
is really how you build trust. And it's a lot more fun when you have a professional like you guys helping. I watch you guys, and I'll give you a lot of kudos, because this is important, is that you guys are all cool. Like, you make us comfortable. You're fun. You're real. You're not just a robot. Because I've hired people, I'm like, try to talk to the videographer. He's like he has the personality of an ice cube. You're like,
you're so spot on with that, Don. And that's meeting the business owner where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Too much of this industry is so legacy and so like hooty tooty. What are they, nose up, like?
And nobody wants
and
that,
makes
right?
that makes a business owner uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I think what we do really well is meeting folks where they are, and that goes to the anytime, anywhere. So I got a couple for you, and then Ransome, I'm sure, has plenty. I'll use the vehicles. So we've had private jets where we had to, get a videographer on that private jet ASAP, and they flew out and then came back. That one's cool. This one was probably one of the coolest ones. Ransome and I are in Dallas, Texas for a Housing Wire event. I'm sure you're familiar with Housing Wire.
Yep. I was probably at that event with them.
Yeah, or maybe it was one of these events. I might be missing that, but Housing Wire, great partner of ours. They're awesome. Mm-hmm. And we have one of our users and clients who's taking a helicopter from Austin to Dallas. We knew that person, she was going to be at the event, and we were going to film her and all that. But en route to Dallas, she hits us up and says, "Hey guys, is there any way you can meet me while the helicopter is landing, so that you can film that? I can come off the helicopter. We can film a video." And Ransome was with me, so you can imagine he did a couple calculations on his phone, making sure we can make it there in time. And we said yes. And so we hop in, we call an Uber in the middle of downtown Dallas. There's a movie filming on the block, like surrounding the blocks in which we are in. So we had to not just book the Uber, but book it in a place where we can actually jump in. We then get in the Uber, drive. We make the guy speed a little bit, right? And we film him the whole time. So the Uber driver is giving us content. He's telling
Nice.
us, John F. Kennedy was shot here.
Right.
Oh man, and we're racing
He's
to go get
hopping
this
over
thing.
the grassy knoll and
Oh, it was bananas. The video is out in the world somewhere, so you can absolutely follow this journey along. But we get in there, we get to the terminal, we get off, we're running. Ransome gets to the guy, the manager, and he's like, "Can we jump on the golf cart? We're not going to make it. We're running out there." We get in the golf cart. Ransome asks, "How many times have you gotten this golf cart and been filming people coming off the helicopter?" He's like, "Never." We're like, "Okay, cool." So we get there, and Ransome and I are both filming this thing, landing, filming this customer of ours getting out of her helicopter, all in live time. And we got the video done and out by the next morning. And the talk of the event was this dang video and this entrance, grand entrance that
now
she
I
made.
have to go hire a helicopter to come into Dallas for my event. That's cool.
And you know how real estate works, right? So they see her
Yeah.
doing it, and now they all want to jump on.
All
But that was
right.
one of the coolest ones
That
for
is
sure.
fun. Thanks for sharing that, because I knew you guys had to have some crazy things that happen at, in our industry. We have crazy, real estate agents or clients we worked with and some of the stuff we've had to deal with. So it's always fun to hear stories. All right. So to close out, how can, Abby, I'll go with you. I know you'll be able to answer this pretty easy. What's the best way for people to get to know and look into having Blended Sense help them with their videography wherever they are, which is really cool?
That's a great question. We lead with content ourselves. We kind of walk the walk, talk the talk. When we first got started, we're bootstrapped. We didn't have any money to promote, run ads. And to this day, we're pretty organically grown. We don't run ads. I don't know if I'm not supposed to say that on here, but
No,
truly,
you tell
we
a
let,
story.
yeah, we
You're
let,
walking the walk.
mostly that's because, one, we believe that we should prove our point. And so right in 2019, we launched the business and we used a podcast of our own. I hosted a podcast called Tea with Abby, and where I interviewed, we didn't have any customers yet, but Blended Sense needed to get out there. And so I interviewed other first-time founders for the tea on, behind startups and things like that. We did 2 seasons. It was awesome. So I think that's the best way for people to kind of go learn about us is go watch some of our content, go check out our Instagram, go watch our YouTube. You'll see the diversity.
And your website's pretty robust.
Our website,
it gives a lot of great
naturally, of
information.
course, on our website.
Well, I've looked at it, and I've gone through when Tucker and I first started talking at the gathering a year ago, or it was another event. It might not have been the gathering. It was probably another event of his. And I went and checked it out, and it was a lot of great information and stuff. So
Don, one thing, Abby, just for the listeners, right, to the point of learning, everything we've done has been organic, but it's been driven by the videos and the assets we've produced, right? And the repurposing, the fact that we have our own library for 7 years. And I want to encourage businesses to understand that when you run ads, you're putting money into the machine and you're hoping for an ROI instant, right? And if you don't get that money goes right out the window. When you operationally embed video and it's for the long game, similar to SEO, right? You're investing in that. Over time, those videos are going to keep working for you and yield you an ROI that, is organic. It's an asset. That's where it becomes a real asset. And so when you are thinking about video, don't think about a video. Don't think about, going viral. Those things happen naturally. What you need to really be thinking about is how to operationally embed it into your business. How are you going to set the time to film? What are you going to be filming? How do you organize, label, and tag that so you can repurpose it, reuse it over and over and over again in a way that's useful and yields that ROI?
And I love you helping to close out with that, because that's important for everybody to know. So if you're listening to this, and hopefully you're really gathering info, because this is business development. This is not just, a pitch. This is true business development that's required in today's marketing efforts. There's no way you can get around without doing video these days. And we're finding out it's the best way to do it, because just like this interview, you're getting to know Abby, you're getting to know Ransome, you're getting to know Albert, And then you're like, I trust them. I like them. I want to work with them. And you can't get that with a static, meme. You need to really tell a story. And I thank you guys for helping our industry, the real estate industry, and so many others tell their story. And it's so important. And thank you for partnering up with Momentum Builder. I appreciate all three of you being on the call today. What a great call.
Thank you so much. That was so much fun.
Thanks
and we are
for my
just...
shirt. And,
Yes.
and you blew it, Ransom. I'm going to be waiting for one of those hats too.
I know
That's a badass. That's a great hat.
These are old. These are old from an early order. I don't know when this was. Probably year 2 or something.
That's a great hat.
I know we need
and
more.
I tend to keep my partner's hats up here.
And so we'll tell our marketing and apparel team that Don said to fast track the merch production.
I like the hats. I do like the hats, and I like that one. I can't wear the big old hats, and I got a little head. Doesn't work. I look like Choo Choo Charlie.
Well, and if you want to know too, so that logo in blended sense, it all comes from the idea of synesthesia. When you experience a third sense, you see something, but you smell, you hear something, but you taste, So the idea that we can take photo, video, audio, we can blend it together and create something new to tell these stories, just like you mentioned. We're really excited because all of this is kind of coming to its fullest fruition. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like the thing that Albert and I sat on our bed talking about almost what feels like 9 years ago, is like really coming to life now on July 20th. The platform is upgrading. It is becoming what we're going to be calling Studio Pro, and we're going to be offering different features that help a business owner stay locked into how video is currently operating in your business, and so that you can also then stay on trend with what's coming in the future. With the latest, greatest technology, and make sure that your
help you guys
every
launch
moment,
that.
it's all going to be there for the duration of your business's lifetime. We're really excited. And the team behind the scenes is they're incredible. Shout out to you guys, by the way.
Yeah, I see how hard they work.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing watching them
team.
everywhere, and they work really hard. And I love that you guys are giving us the opportunity to help our vendor partners, our speakers, and our attendees get collateral for a very inexpensive. So it's going to be a package that we're going to offer through Momentum Builder Live, our event, but it's very inexpensive to be able to get collateral, because if you're going to the event, you might as well show your authority. You show that you're learning, show that who you are, and do something different than, hi, I'm a real estate agent. Hi, I'm a mortgage loan, I'm a loan officer. That's table stakes. Tell a story and show how you're doing something different than your competition and stuff, and they'll pay more attention. So I appreciate you guys being such great partners. I can talk to you guys all day long because you guys have so much always going on that adds value, but you guys are great people too. I dig on who you are and what you're doing for our industry, and I thank you for that. And thank you for being on our show today, all three of you. Woohoo! And I'm looking forward to where we're going with this in the near future. And we'll keep sharing your great platform and what you guys are building. I'm very proud of you, because starting from a startup with a dream and a passion to help others, and it's working. So kudos to you. That's not easy. I know.
Thank you so much, Don. This is awesome. You're awesome.
Very
excited
cool.
To build all the momentum with you.
Look at you. Nicely done. There's where the actor and comedian comes out. Little improv.
There you go.
Thank you all. And thank you all three of you, Ransome, Tucker, Albert, and Abby, Baez. Thank you for being on the thing. Jonathan, thanks for helping out with Turnkey Podcast.
Thanks,
Thank you for being part of the Momentum Builder Podcast. We're going to keep pushing these out. And wait till you see our new website coming out and our new community site. We're going to help our industry truly grow personally and professionally. And that's what Momentum Builder is all about. So thanks for tuning in. Check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Audible, all those things. Spotify, that's the other one. So like and review and share. Thanks for being part of our show.
Awesome. Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Momentum Builder Podcast. For resources and next steps, check the show notes. If today's conversation brought you value, please rate and review the show. it helps more professionals like you to find it. Because this isn't about motivation for motivation's sake. It's about creating real momentum. We'll see you next time.